Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Idler, Dr. B, with the Greater Haitian American Chamber of Commerce. And today we have the pleasure of having the Executive Director for the Department of Economic Opportunity, Ken Lawson, along with Director Mike DiNapoli. We understand our country, our state. There's a state of emergency, a state of panic, but also a pandemic that's going on. And we wanted to make sure that we do our part in sharing the information and be in touch with the resources, the sources that are available to be able to share this information. Before I turn it over, I'll give you a brief introduction of the Executive Director, Ken Lawson, who served as the CEO and President of Visit Florida and the Secretary of the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation prior. Mr. Lawson has also had several positions with law enforcement agencies and began his legal career in the U.S. Marine Corps. He is a native of Floridian, a graduate of Florida State University and Florida State University Law College. Director Lawson, I welcome you to the GHACC platform, the Greater Haitian American Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for what you're doing, what your staff are doing. We understand this season is a season of panic, but also of pandemic. But we thank you for taking the time out to share with our community and the Facebook community as well what your office is doing and how you plan or the organization is planning on helping the community. I'll go ahead and turn it over. Thank you.
Dr. B, thank you so much. And just to everyone, we're all afraid, but we're here together to work together to make sure we get through this pandemic, with grace and provide resources to help us recover. What I'd like to do for the first section is just read some remarks I prepared to tell you about what we're doing. The Florida Department of Economic Opportunity, we have several divisions. One of the most important things we do is take care of small businesses. And I'd like to tell you about some of the processes we're following right now during this crisis. On March 27th, this past Friday, the President signed the U.S. CARES Act bill into law, providing additional financial resources for individuals, communities, and businesses throughout the nation. My department signed an agreement to be part of this CARES Act to provide additional funds for reemployment and also for small businesses. I'll give you an overview of the CARES Act and what it means to each one of you. We'll provide more details as over the course of time as we get more guidance from the government. But what this means for businesses, funding is available for small businesses through the Small Business Administration Emergency Grant to provide immediate relief for operating costs. There's also funding available for the SBA to cover 6 months of payments for small businesses with existing SBA loans. Rent, mortgage, and utility costs are now eligible for SBA loan forgiveness. For individuals, the federal government is issuing direct payments to lower and middle income Americans. Individuals will get $1,200 and married couples will get $2,400, $500 per child younger than 17. Payments will be phased for individuals with adjusted gross incomes over $75,000, $150 for couples. Anyone making over $99,000 will not receive a payment, and any couple under $198,000 will not receive a payment. And this money is expected to go out from the federal government by April 6th. Next, the stimulus bill also includes funding to implement new paid leave and unemployment insurance benefits. This will expand the current state reemployment assistance benefits from 3 months to 4 months and provide additional temporary unemployment of $600 per week. In the state of Florida, the maximum amount for reemployment benefits is $275. This $600 will be on top of the $275. While we're still working as an agency through the CARES Act and implementing the availability of these programs to Floridians, we have resources currently that are available now. One thing that's very helpful for us as we get federal funds and access to future funds is collecting information about the impact of COVID-19 on our small businesses and business community. We put together a business damage survey, and we'd like for you to go to this website, floridadisaster.biz, B-I-Z, and click on the survey. With this information, we understand the impact on the various sectors, where we heard from the tourism industry, retail, and other businesses to understand exactly the financial impact that they have faced by virtue of our mitigation efforts. The SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan is also available and offers up to $2 million in assistance and can provide vital financial economic support to small businesses to help overcome the temporary loss of revenue that they're experiencing. These loans may be used to pay fixed debts, payroll, account payable, and other bills that can't be paid because of the disaster's impact. The SBA offers loans with long-term repayments in order to keep payments affordable up to a maximum of 30 years. Terms are determined on a case-by-case basis based on each borrower's ability to repay. And you can find this loan information at florididisaster.biz. As I said before, my agency also deals with providing re-employment assistance for those individuals who have lost their positions by virtue of mitigation efforts from COVID-19. We ask that you go to the website, floridajobs.com, and look for the icon, re-employment assistance. There, an individual can apply for re-employment assistance. I have to say this, by virtue of the crisis, we've seen an increase of applications across the state. On the week ending March 7th of this year, we had nearly 5,000 individuals apply for unemployment assistance. Now that number is in tenfold, in the hundreds of thousands. And although we've seen this increase, we are increasing our capacity to help people. And I recognize the frustration because you can apply online or call our call center. What we've done is that we've hired an additional call center to assist. We've increased our capacity through our computer systems to process applications. We have to ask for patience. I know patience is thin right now, but my people are working hard to process these applications to help those who lost their jobs, provide these benefits, and also implement the CARES Act to help individuals receive the funds available from the federal government. With that, I'm going to turn this over to Mike DiNapoli. He's my Director of Office of Small Business to talk about other resources available for small businesses. Mike, why don't you come over here?
All right. Thank you, Ken. That was a great rundown of what we're doing here in Florida and how we're helping Floridians get through this. So I just want to go over a couple things that I think Director Lawson touched on, and certainly I'm sure a lot of you have questions, and I'm hoping we have answers. A lot of things are changing as we speak. And as I was coming in here, I noticed that Treasury just put out a brand new website to help with the implementation of the what I call the P3 loan, which is the Payroll Protection Program, which is an incredible tool that's been activated under this CARES Act. But before I do that, I just want to go over just briefly where we were and where we are today. So back on March 9th, we activated our Small Business Emergency Bridge Loan. Governor DeSantis activated it with $50 million made available to small businesses. I'm sure many of you have heard about this program. It is a great tool here in Florida. And when that was activated, it also, we activated our business damage assessment survey. That survey, I think today, has received over 9,000 applications, or 9,000 surveys to talk about businesses that have been damaged by this disaster. That allowed us to apply to the federal government to activate, as Director Lawson said, the EIDL loan, which is an SBA product called the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. That's the loan where you can apply for up to $2 million in funding as a small business. That loan has been around for quite some time. But the other loan that I'd like to bring up is the P3 loan. I'd like to talk about that a little bit. Most of these loan programs are a bridge. Our program is a bridge to those programs. Our Emergency Bridge Loan Program, which was activated, and we received an unprecedented number of applications, 23,000 applications. And as we've said in the past, and I know Director Lawson has mentioned this, under Irma, we received 1,100 after Michael received over 600 applications. This is 23,000 applications, which is just unprecedented. These historical times, and we're glad to see that Congress acted so swiftly, because our emergency bridge loan is a bridge to federal programs for federal dollars. And this is exactly that. This program that has just been stood up, this P3 program, is an incredible tool that gets money into the hands of these businesses extremely quickly. With the 23,000 applications, we expect to work with our SBDC partners, and we expect to help them and expedite their loan processing for this P3 loan. Let me just talk real quick about the P3 loan and what it is. And as you know, the CARES Act, the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Bill, is something that I think every Floridian business owner should know about. They expect to have this open. From Secretary Mnuchin out of DC had said that application period is going to be open Friday, which is an amazing feat if they could get that application open Friday. with that application, the businesses should be working with their local lenders. And again, something that's very unusual under these economic injury loans, usually those go through SBA. These are going through the local banks. So the local banks are going to be processing these loans, and the local banks are going to be approving and servicing these loans. Those loans are up to $10 million. This is an incredible platform, an incredible program, because it allows employees to stay on the payroll. It allows employers to pay them during this crisis. That loan is a $10 million maximum loan, or 2.5 times their average monthly payroll over the previous year. So it allows them to continue to pay their employees, which is much better than taking unemployment. We want to keep them working, we want to keep them employed, we want to keep these businesses open. A lot of questions as to where to go to get this information. I'm going to read this website, which is new to me, and I think it's important for everybody to keep it. It's home.treasury.gov/cares. It is a brand new website. I quickly looked at it as I was walking in here, and I noticed that it has everything possible. I'm sure at some point we're going to link our website, our floridadisaster.biz website, to that website, as well as an SBA website, and also some of the other great tools that are available from some of the chambers that have been putting out a lot of information. I have a lot more that I can talk about, but I really don't want to take up too much time from those that might have some questions or questions for Director Lawson. We can go through this program in depth, or we can leave it high level. It's completely up to you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll be taking some of the questions via the chat, and also have the team in the back end as well from Facebook. If they have any questions, they will go ahead and forward them to us. But while you're there, a little bit of clarity in between looking at the paper application and the online application. I know they're being steered to do the online version in terms of the documentation that's needed to be uploaded to the information center. Can you go over that briefly?
You're talking about the
the bridge loan.
The emergency bridge loan, yes.
The emergency bridge loan.
We absolutely want folks to apply online.
Okay.
It's the fastest route. It's the easiest route.
Okay. And would you also repeat the website you mentioned earlier?
Of course. The Treasury website is home.treasury.gov/cares, CARES.
So it is home.treasury.cares.gov/cares.
There you go. Somebody just typed it in.
Thank you. Someone just put it up there. Perfect.
Is the loan still, we're applying through the Rebuild Florida Business Loan Fund, or is that through the Economic Opportunity Council? Who are we applying through?
That is the same platform. So if you're finding that loan program, the apply here under the Rebuild Florida, it's the same platform.
So
the emergency bridge loan is there.
Would you clarify from the maximum where it says there's up to $10,000 as well under the DO? Will that be repaid as well, or
up to $10,000 in? I didn't hear the second part of that.
From the loan that's available up to $10,000, will that one need to be repaid as well, or not be repaid?
No. So our emergency bridge loan is a 1-year term, 0 interest for 1 year. And after 1 year, if it is not repaid in full, it's considered in default. So
the bridge loan, we've received a lot of demand, have we not?
We have received tremendous demand in the emergency bridge loan. Yeah. So again, 23,000 applications, and we're working through them as fast as we can for completeness and for accuracy so we can process them. I think, Doctor, what you might be referring to is the $10,000 that's available through the EIDL, where you can apply and get that as an advance.
Okay.
And in some cases, that turns into a grant under the government program. I know there's a lot of uncertainty around that as to whether it's going to be prorated. If you apply for, let's say, $12,000, does a certain percentage then become a grant under that platform? I haven't seen anything like that, but I think that's what you're referring to under the EIDL for the advancement up to the $10,000, that it's really a forgivable loan. Some people call it a grant, some people call it a forgivable loan.
Okay. So for a small business that has maybe 1 or 2 employees, how would you advise them to move forward in terms of applying for the assistance or considering?
That's a very good question, Doctor. I would absolutely advise them to go to the SBA and apply for either the EIDL loan, because that is for sole proprietors. They can apply there as well. Doctors, practitioners, single practitioners can apply there. Also, the payroll protection loan is available for sole proprietors as well, and I would encourage you to do that. There's also a provision in there that if you've applied for an EIDL loan, that you can convert that over to a P3 loan. That is absolutely the case. And I think that some of the confusion too is, well, why do one over the other? And there was some talk that the EIDL loan, since it's already a platform that's up and running, that it'd be quicker to apply for an EIDL loan than it would be for this new P3 loan. I can't answer that question. I don't know. I know that they're staffing up and they're ramping up to process these loans, but I would, if it were me and in my business, and my daughter owns a single business, or she's a sole proprietor, I would advise her to apply for the EIDL loan, and then when she's able to apply for the P3 loan, I would apply for that both. Now you can apply for both of them, and you can maintain both of them, but you just can't apply for both of them for the same purpose.
Thank you. And as your office is working through processing these applications, what would you say guesstimation in terms of disbursement to closing these loans out, and to possibly, or have there been any disbursement?
There have been disbursements. We've dispersed almost $5 million recently, which is the numbers that I'm not even sure Director Lawson has seen those numbers just yet. But that was as of today, right before I walked in here. We've approved over 200 loans. So we're getting money out the door. With the people that we brought on board, and Director Lawson has been great in making people available to us. This agency has come together like I've never worked in an agency before. And I've normally have a staff of 6. I've had over 50 people supporting and volunteering throughout the last 2 weeks and helping us and get through this. So it's an amazing support mechanism that we have here, especially considering that how many people are working remotely and stepping up and volunteering, people getting off their regular jobs and saying, I want to help, and stepping in, answering phones, processing mail. We're receiving mail here every day. I think today we received 6 barrels of those big storage bins that you can buy at Home Depot or Lowe's. We got 6 barrels of those today, and we've been getting them almost every other day. So everybody is stepping up here, and we are processing them as fast as we can. The important part is that we need to have complete applications. So if there's anything missing, it slows things down. So we're probably at a 2 to 3 week process right now.
Okay, thank you. Also, back on the bridge gap loan, how do you advise or coach in terms of the amount to request or ask for, given each small businesses' needs are different? How would you advise them, coach them, okay, this is the amount to request for based on your operation or based on your expenses?
It's a very good question. So we try to tell people who are applying for our emergency bridge loan, take the money that you need now to get you to that bridge, which in some cases after Irma, it was FEMA, it was insurance, whatever coverage it might have been under insurance, or other long-term funding, and the EIDL loan was available then as well. So we try to tell businesses, take what you need, don't take more than you need, because you do need to pay it back. There is no interest due during the first 12 months of the loan, but it does kick into a 12% interest loan if it's not paid back. But that is not an interest, a per annum interest. That is a rate that nobody should want to pay because the loan is in default. And we try to advise people not to go into default and make sure you solidify that long-term financing. If I were, as a small business owner, I always thought about, what do I need the money for? And in many cases, this loan is to get to another bridge. If you're looking at the EIDL loans or the long-term loans under the P3, I would take what you feel is enough to pay your employees and to do your daily your work. I mean, people are out of work, and people are losing business, and our restaurants and hotels and other industries, airlines industries, are being just killed by this terrible thing. And don't take more than you need, especially on these P3 loans where the max on these P3 loans is only 10 years. It's a 4% interest, but it's a 10-year loan. So in some cases, people are not going to be able to pay that monthly amount if they take too much. So I would advise to look at your payroll, look at your average monthly costs, and take what you need.
Do you foresee there might be a second round coming from the DEO in terms of looking at the number of applicants and plus the funds available? Will there be a second round depending on how long
Good
this
question.
is?
I was going to defer to Director Lawson on that. So
Yeah, I can't say that, to be honest. I mean, there is great demand, but that's why it's important to make sure people know about the resources from the SBA. And that's why I wanted Mike on this call to talk about what's under CARES Act. You know, where those websites for Treasury, and then how do you apply for the SBA loan? Because that's really going to be a sustainable product that helps these small businesses through this time.
Thank you. I understand the time is short, and we thank you again for taking the time to go over these with us as well.
Hey, thank you very much. As I said earlier, you know what? We're all doing the best we can. And here at DEO, we're putting all our resources to helping, you know, individuals and small businesses. Although the problem's great, if we work together, act with grace, again, have a level of understanding of what's occurring to every single individual, we'll get through it together. Anyway, thank you again, sir. Take care, Dr. B. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. And those of you guys that are live on Facebook, we'll funnel through some of the questions and also have our team respond to some of the answers as well. We ask you to reach to the DEO, follow the links that are being posted right now. I had the opportunity to go through the process, looking at through the website as well. It's fairly streamlined, but have your information ready so you can complete the process as soon as possible. Again, thank you for joining us. Feel free to reach out to us via Facebook, also info@GHACC.org if there's any questions, and we'll do our best to follow up with you and respond to those questions with answers for you. Again, thank you, and please take opportunity and take advantage of those resources that are available.